Hello, ghost hunters. What do you do when the ghost is hunting you? Do you hide or do you run? Do you turn your flashlight off? Do you need to turn your flashlight off? What if I told you no? Stay tuned to find out what's fact and what's fiction about surviving the hunt. How do you know you're being hunted? If you're new to Phasmophobia, be extra cautious until you're more familiar with the game. There's two key signs that you're being hunted. First, your flashlight flickers during the entire hunt. Also, the radio will receive interference and have a static sound when you attempt to use it to communicate with your teammates. So how does sanity affect the hunt? Well, most people assume that your sanity hitting 0 means that the ghost will hunt, but this isn't necessarily true. And some ghosts will hunt even if your sanity is high. I'm looking at you, demon. But for the most part, the closer your sanity is to 0, the higher the chance that the ghost will hunt you. Now, if you've angered the ghost, it will make the ghost's actions a bit unpredictable. That is why it's so important to not anger the ghost until you're ready. Angering it early means hunting will likely happen early too. So how do you prevent the hunt? Well, there's really only one way to prevent a hunt, and that is with a crucifix. Crucifixes, if placed properly, see my crucifix video here, can prevent 2 hunts per crucifix. When the crucifix is used up, it will disappear. So what about smudge sticks? Well, they're supposed to keep the ghost from hunting for 90 seconds. I find that relying on a smudge stick isn't wise. Smudging the area of the ghost often works, but if your ghost moves around a lot, you may not actually get the 90 seconds of peace. Now that the ghost is hunting you, how do you survive? Most of the time, it's better to hide during a hunt than to run. You can outrun most ghosts. If you have a revenant, all bets are off. In smaller locations, I open doors to closets so I can quickly duck inside to hide if I need to. And in a larger location, I typically outrun the ghost. If I'm trying to set up in the ghost room, I'll often hide in a small room near the ghost location until the hunt is over, so I don't spend all of my time between hunts running back to the room. Remember, ghosts are slower than you, unless it's a revenant or a djinn, so you have plenty of time to run to a hiding spot. If you can't make it to a hiding spot, you can outrun the ghost, assuming it's not a revenant, around large objects in rooms like dining room tables, kitchen islands, sofas, etc. But this is tricky because sometimes the ghost will change directions. And while it works some of the time, definitely not all of the time. Can you hear the ghost hunting? Sort of, yes. If the ghost can see you during a hunt, it will make a heartbeat sound. This is the same heartbeat sound you hear when the ghost is very near you during normal gameplay. Because of this, sometimes players get confused when they're being hunted and when the ghost has appeared next to them. When the ghost is hunting, if you're hiding, you can often hear the ghost walking around outside the area you're hiding in. If a teammate dies, you can hear that sound as well. Since ghosts currently can only kill 1 player per hunt, if you hear your teammate die, you're safe to come out of hiding. Just beware that the ghost is probably still there and you will likely hear the heartbeats, but it cannot kill you if it has already killed your teammate, at least not until the next hunt. And finally, do you really have to hide with your flashlight off? Do you have to be quiet? Does it matter how you hide? Well, maybe no. I tested so many things with ghost hunting for this video. Let me walk you through them. My first test was to see if it mattered if I kept my flashlight on or off. I prefer to keep my flashlight on as much as possible, especially during a hunt. We know sitting in the dark will lower your sanity, and if the ghost is hunting you, you probably don't want to lower your sanity even more. I have survived dozens of hunts while having my flashlight on. I couldn't get the ghost to kill me or my teammates, even once, while keeping my flashlight on during a hunt. I think it's pretty safe to say that you probably don't have to turn your flashlight off. My second test was to see if the ghost could hear me talking. During this test, I was careful not to use keywords that might trigger the ghost. My teammates and I spent dozens of hunts in different locations, talking through the entire hunt, and the ghost didn't find us even once. So this made me wonder, does the ghost hear keywords during a hunt? We know the ghosts will respond to their names when you're investigating. We also know that if you use the ghost name, the ghost will miss whatever you say immediately after. So for the first set of tests, we avoided using the ghost name and instead asked it questions like, "Where are you? To our surprise, this made no difference. The ghost didn't seem to respond to our talking at all. I think it's safe to assume that you can probably talk through the hunt, at least most of the time. Next, we tried using the ghost's name. The results from this test were a bit confusing. It seems if I hide outside the ghost area, it didn't seem to care that I used its name. But the closer you are to the ghost haunting grounds, well, at least once, using the ghost name did entice it and did result in my death. But this didn't happen consistently.
Paul! Oh, Paul! Oh, Paul! Come and kill me, Paul!
Pollywog. Polly wants a
Paul!
cracker.
Paul, where are you, Paul?
Paul, I think you're
Paul!
going the wrong way.
Paul!
Going downstairs.
Oh, he killed me!
I used my time dead to track where the ghost goes during its hunt, and the answer to that is, well, everywhere. It started in approximately the same spot every time, but its path was never the same. Most hunts started out the same, and then vary drastically after. So I'd say using the ghost's name and likely keywords in the path of the ghost can result in death, but most of the time won't result in death. So I would say be careful with this. This made me wonder. We all know that the ghost can hear you while it's hunting. At least we think we know that. But maybe this means it can hear sounds we make, like turning on the flashlight or your footsteps. My next test was to try this out. Through entire hunts, my teammates and I turned our flashlights on and off, held down the radio for the static sounds, opened and closed our journals, opened and closed the doors to the locations we were hiding in, walked around inside of our closets, and none of these sounds encouraged the ghost to kill us. Even an active Ouija board during a hunt did not encourage the ghost to come to my hiding location and kill me. My next test was to try out the string theory. Most people believe that a ghost hunting works like a string. The ghost has strings connected from its head to your head. If it can't see your head, that string is broken and it doesn't know where you are. So my teammates and I tried this out in a few locations, and not surprisingly, it worked. And what's more, we attempted to play a game of keep away with a ghost in Asylum. My teammate would be visible to the ghost and then dart behind a wall, just as I would pop out behind the ghost. Every single time the ghost would forget about the player it was chasing, who was now line of sighting it, and follow the visible teammate. Because of this, we could literally keep the ghost in the same small area and prevent it from ever reaching one of us.
Michael, he's coming this way.
Michael. I'm gonna let him come closer. Okay, I'm hiding.
I'm visible. Hello, Michael. Come get me. Yeah, he's coming my way. Here we go. And hiding in 3, 2, 1, hiding.
Michael. He's coming back towards me.
Don't use his name now. Don't use his name now.
Why?
Because I want to see if it... Isn't it good to know if he turns around without getting his attention?
Hiding now.
He's coming to me. Hiding. Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
It is true that the ghost forgets where you were and will continue with its normal pathing if you line of sight it. Just keep in mind that wherever you're hiding might be in its normal pathing. And finally, we tested if hiding directly behind a closed door results in death. And the answer is maybe. Hiding behind a door to a room does result in death some of the time. But this is only true if it's in the area the ghost will normally path through. So if the ghost doesn't enter the area you are in, it doesn't really matter if you're behind the door or not. But if the ghost normally wanders through the area you're in, hiding behind the door will likely result in you dying at least some of the time. This appears to be true for hiding correctly as well. If you're in the area the ghost normally wanders during its hunt phase, the part of your body that is sticking through the wall, the ghost will sometimes kill you. Remember that the ghost hunting is a little bit unpredictable, so the path it takes is not always clear. Chances are, if you're in a small location, it may visit every part of that location, so any room you're in may possibly be a target for the ghost. Try not to hide directly behind a door. So what's the takeaway from all of this? Try not to hide in the ghost hunting area. If you're not certain you're in a safe spot, it's always better to be quiet and keep your head inside the hiding spot. Avoid hiding behind doors and instead use objects and areas away from the ghost to hide. Remember, most ghosts are considerably slower than you and will lose track of you as soon as you break line of sight. But as for the flashlight and talking, you're probably fine to do both. I hope this video helps you survive hunting phases. If you run your own hunting test, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Happy hunting.